Hey, big shift to start punishing people that don't complete QT in co-op. No. A lot of people that does pub co-op just wants to do their dailies. So they actually intentionally want to finish their dailies fast. Yeah. What they need to do is to set up a room. So if you actually want to do a real run, there should be like a room lobby of some sort so that you can like set up like with people. In a sense, it's a public room or like a public list, a lobby list of like rooms. It's like recruiting, real run, or looking for B1, B2 kind of thing, right? They need to have some sort of LFG basically. Because yeah, I mean, that way people don't need to use like a third party just so that they can do their rankings. A quick complete button for those who don't want to do the full run. That, I mean, it like I get it, but it kind of kills the co-op vibe, if anything. I get it, but at the same time, it's weird, right? There's like a tough balance between like those that just wants to do their dailies, just not demand 3 days. The unders, okay, in an ideal scenario, the 3 runs make sense because it opens up people to higher chance of you being able to queue up with somebody. But in reality, that's not really what's happening. In an ideal world, people queuing up 3 times is good so that other people have someone to play with. So like it makes sense in like in that kind of idea, but in practice that's not what people want to do, because yeah, it does end up being feeling like dailies, right? I don't know how they can make co-op a bit more interactive. It's weird. Either that or like make a separate kind of mechanic. I don't know. Make co-op seem a bit more fun. Union Raid, the new co-op. Union Raid co-op actually is good, but at the same time you have to realize the reason why they're not making Union Raid any much more complicated is because they don't want the people to feel the burden to want to go to stronger guild just so that they can get their reward or fulfillment of gameplay. It's a weird balance because you have to realize, think about if Union Raid ends up being any much more competitive than now, we're gonna see people leaving their old guilds because they want to go to a more competitive guilds. We're glad that the rewards on Union Raid is pretty meh, if you think about it. Because the moment the rewards are way different, now obviously people are gonna be like, I peace. I'm like, yeah, I got it, right? Assuming that they still hold that same value that they had back then, right before. Okay, I need to find that. Let me see. Here. Oh, there you go. Hold up. See, secondly, ranking will be added to co-op battles. The co-op battles were one of the more popular modes during the CBT, especially for players who like to study character strategies. We understand that not all players favor competitive play, and we want players to enjoy gameplay without any burden. Overall, there will be a few adjustments to reward types and gameplay. This includes an addition of ranking reward. See, this to me stood out. Basically, what this is kind of implying is people like, yeah, there's people that want to enjoy the game, but they also don't want, or they understand that not everyone favors competitive play. And so that's why the reward has been balanced so that there's people that are competitive and they would want to try to compete, but then there's gonna be not much significant difference between someone that's going to be super competitive versus the people that don't want to be competitive. To me, this is what stood out to me. And if they are applying that design to Union Raid, to Solo Raid, if you think about it, the rewards on Solo Raid are pretty much negligible other than frame, right? Co-op, the rewards is pretty much negligible for top 100 versus top 10%, right? Yeah, Union Raid, the rewards on it is just more chips, but then the reward on the Union Raid, the things that you can buy on chips, they seem good, but at the same time, it's not something that you're not gonna get if you just play over time, right? And you don't feel left out against the people that are top one, the unions that are top one consistently. Yeah, and they changed the arena rewards to be a little bit more chill also, right? And see, that's the design that they have been doing, or at least that's how I understood their outlook in the game in terms of competitiveness. And so I'm hoping that any other competitive things, you also won't feel left out. So that's why I have a fair amount of confidence on Champion Arena to you wouldn't feel left out even if you're a casual player. That's what I'm thinking. You know, you know how short this thing is, right? But then again, this is a dev notes back in January 2023, and again, I remember it stood out to me, and that's like, oh, okay, that's cool, because like, yeah, I get it. Not everybody wants to competitive play, and that's how I also understood like the rewards moving forward for any competitive play. You also won't feel that much left out.